It is a beautiful day on the west coast of the United States and an absolute joy to welcome you to our coverage of the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach, round 3 of the 2025 NTT Indycar Series. That guy's won here quite a few times. There is a light breeze whipping off the Pacific Ocean as it is finally time for practice at this legendary racetrack that every driver absolutely loves. This is how practice will run, as it always runs. 45 minutes with all cars, a 5-minute break. Then we split into groups, 10 minutes each, divided by pit box selection. And as always, the rookies can run in both groups. All right, guys, cars out on track. Fastest driver right now, Louis Foster, at 1:09.3113 as we ride on board with Will Power, courtesy of Verizon. And let's just have a little ride along with the driver's eye view. And Townsend, James, one thing that has absolutely shocked me about this circuit since arriving here is, having watched it on television for years and then getting to walk the track yesterday, it is so much more intense than I'd ever envisaged. The undulation is more extreme. The short sections feel shorter. The long stretches feel longer. The tightness of the corners feels tighter than I ever imagined. The challenge is phenomenal.
And the intensity in the cockpit here, or in the helmet, I should say, with Will Power, is really a blast for me to watch, James. Haven't had this for a long time, and it has never looked this good, this clear. And these are the hands that hold the all-time pole-winning record in IndyCar. 70 pole positions, so many of them coming at places like this, the streets of Long Beach. And for Will Power, what I notice is how quiet and calm and confident and all-knowing those hands are on the relentless streets.
They are right now, but wait until we get to qualifying sims on the soft tires later, and you've got to push 10/10ths. It gets a little bit more frantic, a little bit more violent as we switch to the car right in front of him on the racetrack. And that's Pato O'Ward.
Looks a lot more violent on board already with Pato O'Ward in terms of helmet shake.
And that could already tell you something about the setups of these cars, the dampers. Maybe there's something different in how these cars are. Well, I'm sure there's lots different in how these cars are set up.
Also, ride height looked to me like Pato was bottoming pretty heavy down at the end of Shoreline at top speed, about 180 miles an hour, when the aero and the downforce is compressing the springs to their peak load.
And it's the bouncing from the concrete to asphalt changes, the curbs, the bumps, the natural issues that you have and imperfections that you have on the road. But then it's also a little bit of the buffeting that's coming in from the air that's being filtered in as we have a nice oversteer moment, nice correction there coming out of turn 8. But I just love that you can read the dash. You can be a little bit more engaged with what the driver is really feeling, what the driver's doing. You see the LED displays on the left and right of the cockpit explaining the hybrid.
I mean, the sound is exactly like what it is in the helmet, in your ears as a driver. That's what you hear.
I'm on the inside of turn 11. I've actually never been here before. I feel a little bit uneasy seeing how close to the cars I actually am. But this is one of the slowest, actually the slowest corner on the entire NTT IndyCar field. You're going to watch, that's reigning champ, just gone past Alex Palou. What people are going to do in this corner, you're trying to get as straight as you can. You're going to take your left arm, throw it all the way over to the right. Maybe you can actually grab it to turn it a little bit more. It's such a critical corner. It leads on to one of the longest straights on the schedule as well. You're going to probably get to the end of the straight, 185-ish miles an hour, but there's a huge amount of lap time here. Christian Lundgaard just gone past, looks like he's starting to get a prep lap. Marcus Armstrong as well. Felix Rosenquist really starting to push, but it was really interesting at the start of the session. I was surprised how much Scotty McLaughlin looked fast here. He's not waiting around, he's getting going straight away. And just seeing the cars now, they're either opening a lap or just trying to complete a lap. It's going to get busier, there's going to be more and more traffic, but it's really exciting to be here watching like this.
I understand that Pato O'Ward might have had a little early rub with the Long Beach concrete. driver's eye view. Oh, knocked his left hand off and probably damaged the left rear. Maybe he was
toe linked, rear tire, up by the bridge. Take the wheels off.
They said toe link, so just got a little bit of too much throttle application on the exit, and you see the back step out, just crank the wall. Luckily, he's right by pit in. You see immediately the car just crab out to the left.
Now, Hinch, this is something that
look at how bad it's wobbling there on that tire.
Previous race winner Colton Herter, though, had a bit of a moment out there on track a few moments ago. So we take a look at that.
Turn 9 off the back straightaway. There is a wicked bump that has certainly reappeared, as it always does, it seems, over the last 6 or 7 years. Let's go on board with Colton Herta. This is what it's like from the cockpit.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see the violence in the camera even when you hit that bump. And if you're just a little bit too much brake pressure at that moment, it unloads the car, can lock up. Honestly, either side of the car. I mean, normally you're locking up the inside front heading into a corner. It's not rare to see the left front going into turn 9 lock up.
Looks like the same issue there for Callum Ilott as the Andretti gang goes to work. Certainly in terms of producing the results, you cannot. Oh, that was close.
Wow.
Certainly cannot Scott Dixon's results over a 20-year career, but I think it's kind of interesting now. Is Scott Dixon potentially having to run more of the science?
The best finisher here, even though he's never won, as we get a replay of the 77 Juncos Hollinger machine going for a little run. That's Stingray Rob down turn 1.
Take a look at the onboard with Stingray Rob here. Hard left front lockup.
And you might feel that. That was long enough. He might have a proper flat spot on that Firestone. It's so hard to spin these things around in the runoffs, guys, at a track like Long Beach, because you run the full stack here. You run a 6-speed pattern where you're using first gear. You can't have a short first gear. That's great for pit lane and great for spinning the car around. And yeah, you can see the vibration in the steering wheel. There's a really high frequency movement. That's because the flat spot on that left front is so fierce.
And you gotta be careful. 10 sets of tires for the weekend, 5 sets of the hards, 5 of the softs. The rookies get 1 extra, but Stingray Rob, a rookie no more.
You had a lot of optimism coming in because you're good here, the team is always here. What did you find out in that session?
Pretty much that. the Andretti guys, they're doing a good job. The Bryant Honda was really strong out there. And yeah, I'm really, always excited about this race. Being my 100th race this weekend as well makes it even extra special. But yeah, I was just so angry with myself after thermal, so I've worked really hard since then to come back. I feel like I've had a really strong start. We've been really working on this winter to improve, and I feel like we've shown that. So that was why thermal was a big disappointment, but we're ready to bounce back here this weekend.
You're fast on the softs, but are they going to last long enough to go a full stint? Can you tell yet?
Probably not, but we will see. I only did a quali sim, but it's definitely going to be tricky. But I love that challenge. I think Firestone is doing a good job with bringing tires that's different and soft than the hard tire. It creates a challenge for the teams and drivers to adjust to that, and I love that. I hate when it's just like a consistent tire for everyone. Everyone is just doing the laps. We don't want that. Everyone watching on TV don't want that. We want action and tires that's difficult but good, and I think that's what Firestone is doing at the moment.
McLaughlin had a horror show in thermal. Needs a good weekend to pull it back. Don't forget, of course, the man who started off this season on pole position in St. Pete. Lost out on the win, but super competitive that weekend from hell, though, in thermal, qualifying towards the back. Contact with Devlin DeFrancesco before they'd even rolled to green, and then problems with his hybrid.
And it's interesting, I mean, for a guy that got his first pole position in IndyCar, his first win in IndyCar on street circuits down in St. Pete, this one has not been particularly kind to Scott McLaughlin in his relatively short IndyCar career. Only 1 top 10 in 4 attempts here at the beach, so he's keen to try to fix that. He's talked about this track being a little bit of a problem one for him, and I know McLaughlin, I know how this guy works. He would have put a lot of time and effort over the offseason studying, researching, diving into the data of what the likes of Will Power and Joseph Newgarden, who've both been very successful here, do differently to him to try to close that gap and really try to fix that stat. He doesn't want a double-digit finish being his best results at one of the coolest racetracks on the calendar.
Good clean lap from Scott McLaughlin. He stays third with a 108.5. Looks smooth, look mistake-free. You hear great job on the radio.
Yes, I'm here with Scott McLaughlin. Scotty, first thing I've got to say before I get to my main question, can you give us one of your facial expressions that you do with your daughter?
One of my what?
One of your facial expressions that you do. I tweeted you about it and you said you were going to do one for me.
Oh, no, I can't. I can't do one off the cuff like that. I need a few beers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also noticed in the session you went to the reds pretty early, or the greens, should I say. Can you just talk through why you did that and just how you think the session went?
No, it was pretty good. We went early just to make sure that we got a decent run because we wanted to just see what the tire did. Unfortunately, just caught a little bit of traffic, but I felt like what I felt was good. And yeah, Dex Imaging Chevy feels good. I love this place. I love Long Beach. It just hasn't been kind to me in the past, but yeah. But we're all good. I just want to give a quick shout out to you, mate. I think you're doing a fantastic job as a rookie, and yeah, give this guy some love.
Thanks, guy.
Yeah. Will Power's off course somewhere.
I told you, it's not easy to get these cars flipped around.
This is turn one, I believe.
Couldn't get, oh, that was a big, oh, wow.
Nice save.
Big rear lockup. So this is the second one.
That's turn one. Massive tank slapper there at the fastest part of the course.
Oh, it's strange there. I've had that before. Rear's just locked solid at max pressure.
He said rear's just locked solid at max pressure. That's when you first hit the brake pedal, and that's your absolute peak of the brake pressure. And these cars run brake biases to the front. There's more pressure going to the front discs.
Anytime you have to remove your hands from the steering wheel to get enough correction into it, that's a massive moment.
Under braking,
at 180. As Louis Foster stalls the car there, maybe he can use the hybrid system or refire.
And that is a new part of the regulations this year. You can use the hybrid system to restart the car should you stall it out on track. A replay then of what happened to him.
The old turn 9 braking bump. You just saw a quick spark of a lockup on the right front. He did a good job to get out of the brake pedal, but then on hot tires and narrow confines, a little too much grip.
Okay, man. I'm Austin powered.
He's Austin powered, as he said. He's
Austin, I've never heard that term before.
So Colton Herter, fourth fastest in that second group of first practice. Will Power, the fastest man, not just of this group, but of the day. Power on a 107.322, Ericsson on a 107.35 from Group 1 was overall second fastest.
So trying to make sense of it all, Team Penske absolutely at the sharp end of the field. They weren't there at Thermal. Back where Joseph Newgarden told me they would be. He said, we couldn't figure out Thermal. We know we're good for the rest of the season. Meyer Shank Racing, Strong, Andretti. And then, of course, Ganassi there with Palou earlier. A lot of people with pace right now, James.
But what's so impressive to me, guys, is if you look at those combined times, the top 5 cars are all within the same 10th of a second. It's less than a 10th of a second on those combined times. That is just peak IndyCar at a street circuit as challenging as Long Beach. To have that many guys that close together, absolutely phenomenal.
Not a lot of wall banging today, but with a field that tight, you can bet that they'll be shaven concrete all around the track tomorrow afternoon for qualifying.